Anatomy of Grief. I really enjoyed this. I thought that this was really well done, and I'm not a huge fan of non-linear storytelling, but I thought that this did such a great job of telling the story in a non-linear way that made it more, you kind of got more endeared, I guess, or more empathy for her as she's reliving all of this, as you are finding out a little bit more and more about what the circumstances are and why she's having such a hard time packing up and moving out of this particular place, and trying to turn a new leaf and trying to find a way to move forward. I thought that this was a really great also mix of art and reality with the way that they were telling the story, especially as things were like not necessarily, I mean, some of it was graphic, and I think that by using art it definitely made it easier to digest as an audience, like for the audience. But so I really liked that kind of aspect of it. I also thought it was really beautiful. I thought it lended something to the visual of the film to have a mix of art and reality.
An Anatomy of Grief. This piece encapsulates grief so beautifully and utilizes, tropes and tricks from the horror genre to articulate these themes even more succinctly and really have them resonate with the viewer. The lighting, especially out of I think all of the cinematic tools utilized, really helps set the tone for a world that is devoid of color and light and goodness after this profound loss that this mother has endured. The performances are great. They're so casual, is as I would put them, which was what makes them feel so real. They're not grandiose and over reffed, but instead really subtle and real. And the ending scene in particular really packs an emotional punch, just beautifully executed, truly.
This film, An Anatomy of Grief, is a very experimental, dark film about a mother who has lost her child, and his presence kind of haunts her and manifests in different ways that it appears. It makes her feel like she's kind of trapped in this dreamlike state where she sees him but she doesn't, and he kind of follows her, and then it escalates. And I think the effects of showing his open ribs and like all cut up, and she's trying to help him and he's very broken, it was really well done. And I really loved the part where she's shown in like a kind of a painting kind of interpretation. I don't know, almost like a void kind of a thing. I really liked the film. I think it was really interesting. It was a really interesting way to express the idea of grief appearing in different kinds of ways.
An Anatomy of Grief. From the title, you already understand a lot of things, what it's about, the tone, kind of reflective and serious. Doesn't really leave anything to imagination, but I think, I enjoyed watching this. I was intrigued, I was creeped out, I was drawn into a surreal, confusing, eerie atmosphere with this kind of stark and timeless kind of editing. And and the way it transitions from live action to animation and from realism to kind of interpretive. I thought it was really cool. Anatomy of Grief, because at first I thought it doesn't really dissect her grieving process that much. It's just explaining what happened in the past. But to be fair, no, it's like her reliving what happened and coming to terms with it. So yeah, I thought it was an effective telling of an emotional processing. Yeah, I'm sure it can be a relatable story and a useful message for those who have experienced, who are experiencing grief. And yeah, I enjoyed it.